Hey, friend, this is Abraham responding and replying to you once again. Um, I like your interpretation, man. It's awesome. Um, I guess I wanted to say two things as just an introduction to Meditation 17 and your concern about the plight of books. The first one is that I can't help but look at everything in terms of, my own experience, which has been in a heavy kind of Christian background. The other one is there are certain texts that I love so much that have never left me, and Meditation 17 is one of them. Actually, there's quite a few works from John Donne that just haven't left me, and that, they just stay with you right in the heart. But yeah, Meditation 17, that's actually the very first thing I thought about when I heard, when I saw your video about the plight of books, and when you asked that question. The other text I've actually thought about, besides Meditation 17, is John Milton's Areopagitica, where he talks about, censorship and defending the book, and where he says that, if we censor books, we might as well, murder a man, because to censor a book is to kill a man and to kill his ideas. But yeah, let me get back to Meditation 17. The one thing I didn't mean by it is that anybody who laments the book is short-sighted. Not at all. As a matter of fact, I think a lament is very appropriate. As we see the book pass on, as we see that technology pass on, we can't help but attach ourselves to it even more. Think about Professor Hold, who's so attached to his typewriter, he tells us that when it broke down, he went to get it fixed. I think of that kind of attachment to previous technology, and I don't think that kind of attachment is necessarily a bad thing, or it's short-sighted or anything. It's a proper, lamentation for it. And so, in one sense, I meant Meditation 17 to be a sort of lamentation for the book, to mourn it properly, to be able to let our breasts swell with mourning for it, and to say a few words about it. John Donne wrote Meditation 17, as a kind of last rites, if you were to, when he would visit, the sick people from the church, and or people who were in their deathbeds. And so this is this kind of idea of what it means to be there in the place of that person. And he definitely puts himself in it, and he says, well, maybe, this man who is so sick doesn't know that the bell tolls for him, but maybe I'm the one who is so sick that I don't even know it tolls for me. And so we are definitely putting ourselves in the place of, of the book in a way. We are lamenting this technology. The second thing I wanted to point out is that he uses this metaphor for death when he talks about men, humans, women, children dying. He talks about it as a book that just simply needs to be translated, and that God is the one who performs his translation, and he employs several translators. And so, in a sense, what happens to our body is that our body dies, but then it's translated. And the word translation, of course, is another word for transformation, which means that in Christianity, of course, the body is glorified, and that's the actual Christian word that is used. In other words, our body ceases to be here, but it is transformed or glorified or translated into something else, something that we don't understand yet. And this new translation might even be a better form for it. And so the book might die, and to tell you the truth, I actually think it's going to stay with us for quite some time, even if people don't use it as much. I think the book will remain with us for a very long time. But if the book dies, it is merely transforming, and so I think of it more as a translation. And lately I've come to understand that the word translation is a very important concept in terms of, not only how immigrants cross culture and we are then kind of translating ourselves, moving from one place to another, but how we also need translation as a form of survival. How we need to be able to kind of communicate our ideas that were in one language into another, and that other people also, to be able to communicate with us, need to be able to translate their ideas into our language. And so at that border is the meeting place where ideas are translated. And so just in terms of cultural studies, the word translation is very important. But here I find the word again, translation, being very important in terms of, this technology of the book and what it's become, what it's becoming, what it is still to become. And so, those are my thoughts on it. And the other thing I wanted to point out is that I've taken Meditation 17 and translated it too. I translated it into some code on my laptop that presents it as some PowerPoint slide, and then I've retranslated it by making that PowerPoint into a video. And once I do that, I retranslate it once more so that it can be uploaded into Moodle. And so Meditation 17 has undergone several transformations, and even one more transformation it has gone on. It's the fact that when I read it, I translated it or interpreted Meditation 17 and made it into something that was personal and that was my own. And so I think personally that's really like what I wanted to get out of this is, and be able to say to you, is that the plight of the book is important to me too, and we can mourn it, and we can mourn it properly. So if the bell tolls for the book, maybe it's also tolling for us.